0, 1.
Let's get started.
Why they stopping me?
Bye, crypto bro.
What's going on, crypto world? It's that guy again. Ball Deep Crypto. Coming at you with another stellar piece. This time we're going to be talking about Aquarius. I kind of ended my last video on it and wanted to touch a little bit more on it, give you guys a little idea of why I think this is a hidden gem. Shout out to my guy, Red Pill Pro. I was onto this a while ago, but kind of just chatted with him. And if you don't follow him, you should. The dude puts out endless knowledge that I'll never be able to obtain. But respectfully, really chill, really cool cat. Dig the guy. He's a cool dude. Anyways, back to Aquarius. I was on it for a minute. Didn't really understand what it was. Kind of forgot about it. Kind of dipped my toe back in once I had a little conversation with him. And really excited and happy that I have actually looked back in. This is a hidden gem, as you can see currently, with the price .000091008, so 9/100,000th of a cent. So for $910, you can get a million Aquarius. Now you're probably wondering, what's Aquarius? What does it do? And that's an excellent question. Let's start off before I dive into more of this. Let's dive in here and say, this is not financial advice. I made $20 an hour. If you're taking advice from me, good luck. No, but for real, I am not a financial advisor. Anything I do and say is just my opinion. I'm obviously playing with what I'm talking about. I'm giving you what I got. You could take it or leave it, but at the end of the day, your money is your money. You do as you choose. You know, we're all adults here. We're just having a discussion. All right, let's get back to it. So, in case you're wondering, what is the use case of Aquarius on Stellar? It's a decentralized liquidity management platform built on the Stellar network, designed to bootstrap and enhance liquidity for trading pairs on Stellar's decentralized exchange and automated market maker, AMMs. The Aqua token serves as the governance and incentive mechanism, allowing holders to vote on which market pairs receive rewards, thereby directing liquidity incentives to specific assets and increasing overall market depth. This helps solve liquidity challenges on Stellar by rewarding market makers who place limit orders and liquidity providers who deposit into AMM pools with Aqua tokens distributed hourly. Additionally, utilities include locking Aqua into ICE tokens for booster rewards, governance participation, and earning bribes for votes on specific markets. Overall, it acts as a liquidity bootstrapping protocol, making Stellar more attractive for trading, payments, and asset tokenization. Now, how does Aquarius support Soroban? Now, we've talked about this in previous videos. Well, myself, i.e. the royal we, me. I've talked about this in other videos about how Protocol 23 is coming out in September. It's September. Welcome to September. Weather's changing. Football's on if you're into that. Good for you. Hope your team wins. You know, I used to be a big Iowa Hawkeye fan. Now I'm just pretty much a crypto guy. But back to it. They have Protocol 23 coming out, which is going to be a TPS of 5,000 per second. It's low fees, it's built for institutions, it's built for small trades. DeFi, Soroban is a game changer in my opinion. So this is why I am very, very bullish on Aquarius. I believe that the future of Soroban running on Stellar systems is going to be enormous. Getting in now is absolutely like robbing a bank. In my opinion, it's right there for the taking. If you got the belief, you could see it. You see the same thing. I would imagine that's why you're here taking a look. But anyways, Aquarius supports Soroban, Stellar's Rust-based smart contract platform. By deploying its AMM pools as fully on-chain smart contracts, enabling decentralized liquidity provision, instant swaps, and rewards distributions without intermediaries. So it's an all-in-one. It acts as basically Stellar, as you know, XLM, the chosen one, my favorite. You know, I'm drinking the freaking Kool-Aid, just how I get down, all right? A little bit of extra sugar. It's smacking. That's what I like. So Stellar is my thing. And I said Soroban is something that is very, very, very juicy, sexy, attractive to me. I find it very attractive. In 2024, Aquarius transitioned from a front-end interface for Stellar's classic decks to a proprietary, proprietary Soroban-based AMM solution, incorporating models like Constant Product Market Maker for volatile pairs and Stable Swap for correlated assets, e.g. stablecoins, to minimize slippage and impermanent loss. Beautiful. So it is the settling token for Soroban. Now, Soroban is in its infancy stages, 247 million, I believe, 40-something million AMM. We'll get into that in a second, just top of my head. So you can see how infant and small it is now, and where potentially it's going to go with this upgrade, and with the upgrade and with the institutions and everything else. It's Agua holders, govern the pool creation, incentives, ecosystem decisions, fostering a vibrant DeFi environment with tools like swap routers and analytics for total value lock, TVL, volume, and APY. As Soroban deployed DEX, Aquarius integrates with Stellar's broader ecosystem, supporting yield farming, token swaps, and real-world asset trading. I love real-world assets, RWAs. Now, the potential and new DeFi money flows once Protocol 23 is live. As you see here, Protocol 23 rolled out in mid-2025. It upgrades Stellar features like live state prioritization, parallel transaction scheduling, and enhanced Soroban token interface events, boosting network throughput up to 5,000 TPS. We talked about that already. Improving smart contract efficiency for data handling and value transfers. The scalability upgrade positions Soroban for more complex DeFi applications, reducing bottlenecks and enabling high volume activities. Potential for new money inflows include an increased institutional and RWA inflows. Faster processing attracts tokenized treasuries, stablecoin lending, and yield-bearing RWAs, with cross-border payments flowing into DeFi pools for higher yields. Here we go. Let's go. Money, money, money. Yield farming and liquidity mining. Enhanced performance supports advanced protocols like automated yield optimizers and multi-asset pools, drawing capital from retail and institutional users seeking APYs on stable assets. There we go. Again, wherever there's money to be made, Stellar's there. They got their hand in it. They are cross-chain and global payments integration. Improved RPC and authentication enable seamless bridges to other chains. 2 chains, if you guys into hip-hop. Funneling money from traditional finance into Soroban DeFi via remesas, tokenized securities, and hybrid payment DeFi products. Higher trading volumes and fees. With reduced slippage and faster executions, expect surges in swap volumes, bribes for Agua votes, and overall ecosystem TVL growth, creating self-reinforcing liquidity loops. Overall, this could accelerate DeFi adoption, with money flowing from sideline capital into scalable, low-fee opportunities on Stellar. Stellar saying, we're fast, we're efficient, low slippage, high input, high output, very cheap, all in one. We do it all. We have a DEX, we have RWAs, we have cross-border, we have person-to-person. God, Stellar. It's Stellar. What can you say else? What else can you say? So I put in, I asked Grok, I said, yo, dude, what's your 5 to 10 year growth plan here, my man? And here's what he told me. The DeFi goals and the Stellar SDF, the Stellar Development Foundation, focuses on becoming a full stack platform for payments, DeFi, and RWAs, emphasizing real world utility and adoption over speculation. Their goal is for DeFi TVL goals is to achieve a top 10 ranking by DeFi TVL, starting from 48 million, like I said, in early 2025 through Soroban enhancements and ecosystem incentives. This involves scaling to billions, so from 48 million to billions in TVL by attracting protocols for lending, DEXs, and yield farming, with Protocol 23 enabling higher throughput. And it will. Once it's up and running, once people see what it does, once it sees how efficient, how fast, how cheap Stellar is, it's all coming. It's just a guess, not financial advice again, but your boy's right. RWA expectations and goals. It wants to tokenize 3 billion in yield-bearing RWAs by the end of 2025. That's a couple months. Now that's a 10x increase from 2024's 290 million. It wants to focus on tokenized treasuries, real estate. I was listening to somebody else. Sorry to go off topic. I like my brain, autistic a little bit, but I was listening to some guy because I'm boring. It's what I do. Just listen to nonsense. But this guy was talking about how there's like $3.8 trillion overall market cap and money flowing and everything else. But they were talking about how just on a small scale, there's like $500 trillion just waiting to come into this asset class, like tokenization, RWAs, AMAs, yields, treasuries. I mean, just on a small scale. So think about that. You've got the potential for $500 trillion just on a small scale. And that's probably peanuts compared to what it really all is. But $500 trillion of liquidity flowing through TVL, yields. I mean, okay, now we're talking about billions here, not trillions. So anyways, RWA expectations is to tokenize $3 billion, like we said, by focusing on treasurized real estate and securities to bridge traditional finance. Long-term, 5 to 10 years, expect expansion to trillions with a T, like I was just saying, and tokenized assets via global partnerships, regulatory compliance, and integrations like unified RPC for real-time data. Now, the broader plan is to prioritize institutional adoption, smart wallet features, and ecosystem grants to drive usage and payments and tokenized assets, positioning Stellar as a leader in efficient, inclusive finance. TVL growth is tied to utility metrics, not vanity, with expectations of exponential increases as RWAs and DeFi mature, which I believe they will. I believe, just like Larry Fink from BlackRock says, I'm not a fan. He's going to be head of the WEF, everything else. Boo, I'm with you. But they want to tokenize every asset in the world. They want to do it. When those people say they want to do it, they're telling you they're going to do it. So you can listen and get in and make money, or you can be outside of the system and they're going to do it anyways and then not have the money, So again, not financial advice. Do what you want to do. Take what you want out of this. It's your choice. I'm just here to yap. Hopefully you're listening. Hopefully you're getting what I'm giving. So hopefully it's valuable. Speaking of value, Aqua's value is primarily driven by demand for governance, voting, bribes, and rewards rather than direct fee accrual. Now, what I asked him, I said, assuming the MC, market cap, and TVL ratio remains consistent, what is the price would be, based off of what it is. And it says there's 36 billion circulating with a market cap of 32 million Aquarius TVL, 29 million TVL on Aquarius, sorry. So it says here currently for Aquarius to get to 1 cent, the market cap needs to be 360 million and required TVL 321 million. Now again, current metrics are as September. The price is up here. Circulating supply is 36 billion. The market cap is 32.5 million and Aquarius TVL is 29 million. So you're talking about another 320 million. And then you're talking about, approximately 300 more million required just to get to a cent. Now, as I started off the video saying, it's what, 901, so you're approximately $910 to get to a million of them, right? Let's just throw that out there. Just a million as a beautiful number. So every week you get paid, or every 2 weeks you get paid, you throw 100, 200 bucks in here, right? So you get yourself up to a million of these, and you're under, $1,000 for that, let's call it. If you were to buy it now, you'd be under 1,900. If it goes to a penny, and you're sitting on a million of these Aguas, That's $10,000. Do you understand that, right? If it goes to 5 cents, it's $50,000. Right? 10 cents, 100,000. You could do the math. Okay? So, based off what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You know, how much money do you spend a year on coffee? How much money do you spend on your sports gambling, your fantasy football, all that? How much money do you go drop on shoes? You know, I shop at Goodwill. I'm cheap. I make $20 an hour. I am not a wealthy man, but I'm trying to be wealthy for my kids. I don't ever plan to spend any of this if it makes it. I'm going to live off the money that I make. I might use a little bit just to get a better car. Actually, I won't. I can live off the money I have because that's who I am. I'm already set in my way. I'm doing everything I do for my kids. I'm hopefully that you've got children, you got a future, maybe you want to risk it for the biscuit. If it doesn't work for me, then guess what? I'm still broke. I'm still here. You know what? I'm still happy. I've been exercising a little bit. I cut off the soda, trying to eat a little bit better. You know, spend a little bit of time with my kids. Loving life. All right, I have it very, very good. Whether I have this money or I don't, it'd be nice to have it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna be good either way, and I'm gonna risk it. So I'm a risk taker, I guess. So, anyways, 5 cents. You need 1.8 billion. Required TVL would be 1.61 billion. And we were talking before. You said that you said up there. It's going to be to the billions, and then they want to get it to the trillions. So when we're talking here, 3.6 billion to 10 cents to 3.21. And so on and so forth. We get to $1, we need 36 billion required for the market cap, and we need the TVL to be 32.14 billion for the TVL. Now that's quite a leap from where we're at now, but it doesn't mean that it can't get there. Now I said, okay, what would the prices be if it was fully diluted? And here you go. If all 100 billion were out, assuming, based off current market caps, you'd need 1 billion and then 892 million TVL to get to the $10,000 for the 1 cent. You know, these are estimates. Higher TVL reflects dilution from the full supply, requiring more ecosystem value to justify the price. Now, is Agua's burn deflationary ash? Just give you a little bit of idea what Agua is. I said, no, it's not a burn mechanism or explicit deflationary features like automatic token burns from fees or transactions, and its total supply is fixed at 100 billion tokens with a hard cap, meaning they cannot create new tokens, cannot be minted. This is it. 100 billion is 100 billion. However, they have a little function that they use, which is called ice. So you can ice them and then put them in. So what is it? You know, so let's get to this first. How many will go to rewards and how many will be released to the public to buy? Based on Agua's tokenomics, 55 billion are going to go Agua in total or go to rewards. This includes 50 billion allocated to incentivize SDEX traders and AMM liquidity providers distributed hourly to those contributing liquidity on voted markets. An additional 5 billion, 5% is dedicated to voting and staking rewards. How much is released to the public to buy? Approximately 20 billion Agua were allocated for public release via airdrops. Missed that boat. The second 15 billion were for qualified XLM holders. Again, not me, not rich. No, and I'm still learning this game too, you know, so, you know, sucked to miss out on that stuff. You know, lucky, a lot of people that did. Beyond airdrops, though, the public can buy Agua on the open market, including tokens from vested allocations, as they unlocked over 3-year vesting periods. Rewards also indirectly release tokens to the public, as anyone can earn them by providing liquidity or voting. That's like locking it up in ice. Estimate around 55 billion will ultimately go to rewards, serving as the primary way for the public to acquire tokens through participation. The public to buy portion is less fixed, but includes the 20 million, so potentially up to 42 billion if you include all non-reward emergency allocations. So there is currently, 32 billion out there. Supply is 36 billion. They're saying there's 42.5 billion. That's pretty much going to be rolling around. What percentage is held in ICE? It says here, as of recent data in 2025, over 10 billion Agua is locked into ICE. So you've got 10% of the total supply locked, and representing 30% of the current circulating supply, and climbing. Over 60 billion ice has been issued, indicating users are locking agua for extended periods. Average multipliers suggest multi-year locks, as ice issuance can reach up to 10x the locked agua amount for maximum durations. Now we're going to get into that. So let's go down here and say how to lock ice. To lock agua into ice on the Stellar network, use the Aquarius platform, which facilitates conversion of agua tokens into ice tokens for enhanced governance and reward benefits. Ice is a non-transferable token that represents locked ice, providing, I think this like a S flare or something like that. It's like where you convert the flare and they give you the ice token for a one-to-one swap for what you do. So if you put 1,000 in, it's going to show you down here. It tells you down here to do it. Visit the Aquarius website, likely aquarius.exchange or similar URL, and use a compatible Stellar wallet with Aquarius integration. Now, again, this is off of, don't take any of this. I've never done it. So maybe I'll get on and I'll do a video on how to do it, because I do plan on locking it. So maybe I'll just skip over this little part about how to do it. I just kind of asked, well, this is kind of a question for me. I was looking at it. But I've never done it. If you've done it, drop it in. Actually, don't even drop it in the comments. People can figure this out on their own. But what it does is, basically it says here, you lock it up, you get it boosted. Now, here it is. How do you earn agua by staking on ice? You earn additional agua by locking agua into ice on the Aquarius platform. Now, by holding ice, you receive a multiplier up to 10x on agua rewards earned from providing liquidity to AMM pools or placing limit orders on voted market pairs on Stellar's SDEX. Now, by me looking at it like this and reading into it, this is like basically you're locking it up so these AMM pools can use your agua to make transactions and move money around. So this is staking in a way, but they don't call it staking. It's while ice itself is not a staking mechanism in the traditional sense, i.e. or e.g. like proof of stake, locking agua into ice enhances your ability to earn agua rewards in two ways. So it is, but it isn't. Now, by doing it, like I said, you receive a multiplier of the 10x. These rewards are distributed hourly for the 50 million agua allocated for liquidity incentives. You also get ice grants, governance, voting power, allowing you to vote on which market pairs receive liquidity incentives. You can also earn agua through bribes offered by projects to secure votes for their market, as well as from the 5 billion agua allocations for voting stake rewards. Thus, while locking agua into ice doesn't directly generate agua through passive staking like interest, it amplifies your agua earnings through participation in Aquarius's liquidity and governance systems. Now here we go, lock and duration. While you lock agua into ice, the amount of ice you receive is determined by the lock duration. With longer lock yields, higher ice multipliers, up to 10% for the maximum lock period, which is typically 3 years. So you're locking it up and saying, c'est la vie, 3 years. For example, locking 1,000 agua for a short period, 1 month, might yield 1,000 to 2,000 ice, a 1 to 2x multiplier. Locking for the maximum duration, e.g. 3 years, could yield up to 10,000 ice for the same 1,000 agua, a 10x multiplier. So you lock it up, you got your 1,000 agua, after, can yield up to 10,000 ice for the same 1,000 agua. So, yeah, damn. Okay, so you get a 10x on it. So basically you're 10x. If you put it in, it sounds to me like you 10x, but you can't touch it for a while. The annual yield for liquidity provisions varies by pool and market conditions. Historical data from 2022 to 2024 shows Aquarius AMM pools offering 20 to 200% APY depending on trading volumes, pool size, and agua incentives. So depending on which pool you go to, the duration, what they're offering you, it could be more. Now that kind of reminds me of like my flare that I staked, right? So I staked flare and I put it in. You have to have 50,000 flare to stake it. So I put it into flare and it was a 240-day stake. But it said that after the end of my 240-day stake, I got 100% of what I put in. So that's about to come to fruition. So when it comes back with every single flare that I put in, I should be getting flare for flare back after it unlocked for locking it in for that period of time. So like I said, I mean, in this one, if you put 1,000 in, you get a 200%. I mean, boom, there you go. You've got what you get, what, 3,000 back? I don't know what the heck that is. Wow. Okay, impressive. Voting, staking rewards, the 5 million agua are less predictable or tied to it. It says down here, the more agua you lock into ice, the larger your share rewards. As your ice balance scales with the amount locked. For example, locking 10,000 agua versus 1,000 yields 10x more ice, amplifying your shares proportionally. Rewards are also proportional to contributions to liquidity pools. If you provide 10% of a pool's liquidity, you earn 10% of its agua rewards, further boosted by your ice multiplier. Suppose a pool has a 50% base APY, and you lock 10,000 agua for 3 years, receiving 100,000 ice, 10x multiplier. If you contribute 10,000 agua to a pool with 100,000 TVL, 10% share, the pool distributes 1,000 agua daily, and your base share is 100 agua a day. With a 10x ice multiplier, you can earn up to 1,000 agua a day from that pool, translating to a 365% annualized return on your 10,000 agua. 1,000 times 365 / 10,000 equals 36,500 agua a year for staking it in the ice. Actual returns vary due to pool volume, trading volumes, and reward distribution rules. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to dig around. I'm going to stake it or ice it. Then I'll let you know what happens. Anyways, that is pretty much the end of this video. I'm sorry, it was a lot of yapping, a lot of crazy talk, a lot of off-the-wall stuff, and probably dragged on way too long. But again, hopefully this gives you an overview of what Aquarius is, what it does, and what it potentially is going to do in the future based off its current price. Again, not financial advice. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and share. If not, don't. It's your choice. Hopefully you got whatever you needed out of it. Shout out to like 70 people who follow me. Hell yeah. Appreciate you. I never expected one of you. So I appreciate that a lot. And like I always say, chase a check, never chase a bitch.